This one is War and Peace.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ah.
Show us how thick the book is.
Show us how thick it is, Andrea.
Yeah. And they're like Bible pages, aren't they?
Oh yeah, it's like,
How long did that take you?
it took me 4 weeks.
But how long would it take a normal person?
Well, it's winter here in Iowa, so there's not much else to do. So I would say it would probably take you twice as long if you're kind of busy. Like in the summer, it would have taken me a lot longer. But right now it's cold, so there's really nothing to do. So I read it a lot, I think.
Okay, quick synopsis, because I have not read it. I have not seen the show either,
Or the movie.
or the movie.
So it's about war and peace. No, I'm just kidding.
Got it.
It is about war. It's about the Napoleonic Wars. So it takes place in like kind of Europe, Russia. I don't know if the borders are exactly the same as they are now, but a lot of this, I would say half the story takes place in Moscow, and Petersburg is another main one. So it's basically about, I would say, this rich family. They're princes and princesses, and it pretty much talks about going through. So her brother goes to the war. She meets this guy. He also goes to the war. It kind of mainly goes around this one character and kind of how she grows up through the war and then kind of after the war. It's really similar to Gone with the Wind, I would say. So there's the war, the guy goes away, she's left at home, and it just kind of goes, like the peace part of the book is about her life, and then the war part's what he's doing while he's at the war mainly. And then there's some other side characters that are in there.
Was it written before Gone with the Wind or after?
I believe it was written before.
What?
Because it's like a history thing. Yeah, it's Napoleonic Wars, so it'd be before, right? Yeah.
No, I mean the actual book. Like, did the author write this book after Gone with
Andrea's looking it up.
I'm gonna Google it.
I'm curious if she kind of like got inspiration with Gone with the
You
Wind.
leave Margaret Mitchell alone.
I'm sorry.
1865 was War and Peace, and we'll say when was Gone with.
My nose itches so bad tonight. I don't know why.
1935. So they were written. I don't know. I can't do math right now, but like. So Gone with the Wind was 1935. What was the other one? I already forgot.
That's when it was written. I thought it was a lot earlier than that. I thought for some reason Gone with the Wind was written in like 1850.
So they were 70 years apart. I couldn't find the window again. I'm like, where's the window?
They were how far apart?
70 years written apart.
Okay. Never mind.
What?
What?
I might have to go. Okay, so the Civil War was after 1850, wasn't it?
Yeah. I told you I should know because it's like history, but I'm really bad with years and stuff.
Well, I definitely just suggested that Gone with the Wind was written in 1850.
Before the Civil War.
Before it. Okay. Margaret Mitchell was not a seer, so that didn't happen.
What if she just predicted the Civil War and then Gone with the Wind was written before it happened? That's wonderful.
So dumb.
Oh yeah. It's okay. It's Friday. It's been a rough week.
It's been such a rough week. I'm like getting mad about it.
Tell us more.
So do you like the characters? Are they likable? Or is it more like Red Queen, where like the story's good, but I hate Mare?
I don't. So Natasha is the main character, and she is a bad person. It's just not a fan of her. She's like, and she's also like immature. Like I guess I'll compare her to Scarlett, where Scarlett's like headstrong, knows what she wants, get what she wants, and Natasha's just like, I don't know anything. It's just like, she's so annoying. It's like, oh my God, just decide. Like, it's not that hard. Like, this is your life, figure it out. Like, she's just very frustrating as a character, where when I like read Gone with the Wind, Scarlett just knew what she wanted, she just did it. There's no like, I don't know what to do. Now she never knows what she's doing. I'm just like, oh my God, so annoying.
So what would you rate it?
I think I would rate it a B minus. It
Wow.
was okay. So, interesting fact, I researched Tolstoy, who's the author, and he said that, I quote, War and Peace was a little verbose. I can't believe I wrote that, or something to that extent. Which verbose, I looked it up, I had to Google it. It talks about how it's very wordy. So there's a lot of times where it's just like wandering off on these philosophical.
Philosophical.
Yes, philosophical. Oh, I can't speak. Philosophical, like God. I guess, like some of the people are dying, and they go into this like page and page and page of what these people are thinking. It's just like, oh my God, it's just like too much. So I watched the TV show and I watched the movie. They both followed it pretty well. The movie was shorter. It was like 5 hours, where the show ended up being 8 hours.
My God.
So the movie cut out some things, like a whole character was like not existent. The show followed it a lot better, but I feel like the show cut out the parts that were just like mind-numbingly boring of the book, like, which I thought it was better. Like the show followed it like exactly as it went. It just left out some of the like all the thinking and all the stuff they went through. Like the one guy joins the Freemasons, and it goes into his thought process of why he wanted to do it. And it's like a chapter of him thinking. So much thinking. I'm like, oh my God, I can't deal with this. Like,
So do you think
scam.
that someone could just watch the show and have an accurate grasp of the book War and Peace?
Yes. The show, they could. The movie left out some bigger chunks. So I did know, when I was doing my research, Tolstoy did research the Napoleonic Wars. So it is accurately written. Well, it's fiction still, but he did a lot of research on it. So you could read it and know what happened. And he was really good at depicting that, if you wanted to know about that.
If somebody was only going to do one, like read the book, watch the movie, or watch the TV show, what do you think they should do?
Liz, you always have to read the book. What?
I feel stupid now.
So I feel like, I don't know how to say this. So the book was written a long time ago, and I feel like certain topics at that time were kind of like off limits. Like they talk about, how they like held hands, or they insinuate a lot of things, whereas the show was just like showing it. Like, the book insinuates that these people are sleeping together, where the show just like, yep, they are, here it is. Or the movie was older, so the movie kind of stuck with the book and not doing that. So I don't know. I feel like it's one of those books you have to read, but I would also suggest that some of the parts where they're like in a war council talking for like 5 hours, maybe just peruse that and not completely read all of those. Or when they're thinking about life, maybe just skim that, unless you need to know about that. But I thought the show was really good. I really liked the show.
Courtney watched the show. She liked it.
Yeah. She said she bought the book and then she saw how big it was and she was like, hey. Yeah.
I don't know if I could read that much.
I
mean, obviously I could read that much, but I don't know. That takes some dedication to read that large of book, because typically I read like 3 at a time. But if I had that big of one, I think I would want to like spend more time on it.
I would suggest that too. I don't know. It was good. The story was good. I was not really in love with the characters like I was with Gone with the Wind.
That's always rough when there isn't like a character you relate to or you're like rooting for.
Well, and so there is one character that I really liked, and then he dies, and I'm like, psh, done with this. So
That's the worst.
I feel like it's definitely worth reading.
So
I mean, I don't know, maybe I just compare it too much to Gone with the Wind, but it was interesting, and you get to find out what happened back then. I think from what I've researched, it's supposed to be pretty accurate with historical events and what actually happened. And he wrote it partly when he was in the war himself.
Oh.
So I actually like the war parts more than I liked the peace parts. I just thought it was more interesting. Like the action was more interesting to me than the people left at home that are the people that were left at home weren't like strong characters to me. Kind of like, okay.
in Gone with the Wind, did you prefer the people at home more?
Yeah.
Dude, Scarlett does such a good job on the farm in charge when no one else is there.
Whereas like Natasha is like, I don't know what's going on. I just think of only myself.
I think that's one of the hardest things about a book if you don't relate to the main character. I was telling Liz about this earlier. That's why like I liked Red Queen, but at the same time it's not one of my like favorite books ever because I couldn't relate to Mare. Like she made a lot of choices that I wouldn't have made. So it's hard.
That's how this was. Like I liked the side character probably the best, but not the main character. I was just like, I just didn't relate to her. So,
well,
it's good. And I really liked the show. I liked reading it and then watching the show. Corey watched the show too. I don't know if he was overly enthused about it, but the movie was good too.
It was all good.
It was a War and Peace marathon.
You guys devoted a lot of hours in your house to War and Peace. I'm impressed.
Well, one day I was too tired. I'm like, I should just watch a movie. And then it actually like, popped up because I watched the show. I'm like, I'll just watch it. So I watched the movie too. And it has Audrey Hepburn in it. I like her. So I was like, oh, I'll watch this.
She's so good.
Yeah, it was good. The movie was really good too. I liked them both. So I would definitely recommend reading it. But if you skip the boringer parts, I would not judge you.
War and Peace. Everything you need to know. If you don't like big books, watch the TV series.
Yeah.